Today on Fresno State Focus, we take an inside look at the Fresno State Marching Band.
Plus, we get a first look at the brand new habit here on campus.
Also, we learn about how one student is taking his style into his own hands. Fresno State Focus starts now.
Hello, and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Alexis Simonsky.
And I'm Emily Crabtree. There is finally a food court at the Resnick Student Union. 3 more food options are now on campus. On the southwest end of the building, by a small dining area, there is now a salad bar called Toss and Chop, the Habit Burger Joint, and Taco Bell. The Habit and Toss and Chop are open Monday through Thursday from 10:30 in the morning to 7 at night. Taco Bell opens early at 7:30 in the morning and also closes at 7. On Fridays, they all close early at 5.
The Central California Blood Center is holding a blood drive at 3 separate locations at Fresno State. The RSU is a popular place for those donating blood, as is Lot P31 near the RSU. Today was day 2 of the 3-day blood drive. Those who give blood can win prizes, all while helping to save a life.
So we have a table of prizes with chopstick, hand sanitizer, flyers, stickers, and our first aid kits. And today we are having a blood drive in memory of David Herrera, who was our police chief of Fresno State.
Huerta was Fresno State's police chief for 15 years and was an alumnus of Fresno State. He died after having a lung transplant. The blood drive runs until tomorrow night at 6. If you're interested in donating, make sure you are hydrated and have eaten a healthy meal beforehand.
The Bulldog Marching Band is marching to the beat of their own drum. I went behind the scenes and talked with some band members about how they stay in tune.
From agriculture to the arts, Fresno State has plenty of opportunities for students to get involved. For many, that means the Bulldog Marching Band. The Bulldog Marching Band has over 200 members, which means to make a field show work, there are a lot of moving parts.
What really made me want to do B&B is mostly my friends, but now that I'm here, it's genuinely because I want to be.
This year is Katie Collins' first year with the Bulldog Marching Band. She says that the teamwork in the band is unlike any other.
So all these little sections kind of come together for like one big product because we all have the same goal in mind, and that's to perform.
A lot goes into making the marching band here at Fresno State. From different sections to different section leaders, a lot goes into making them all work together as a team.
The Bulldog Marching Band has quite the reputation. Some students are even choosing Fresno State because of the opportunities the band creates.
What really made me come to Fresno State was the marching band, because I saw how big it was and it seemed really prestigious. And the fact that I could get that opportunity was super exciting for me.
The band was even part of the Rose Parade last year, something that 3-year veteran band member Isabella Caso says she'll never forget.
It was just awesome getting to do it. I think in the rain too, because it was pouring on us, but it was like, oh my gosh, we're playing this show one last time, this is it.
The Bulldog Marching Band has been asked back to the Rose Parade in 2025 and couldn't be more excited for this opportunity.
Also be televised so you can support the Bulldogs while they march. Joining me now is Blake McAllister, one of the drum majors for the Bulldog Marching Band. Blake, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about being a drum major. What is that like for you?
Being a drum major for the Bulldog Marching Band it's a really big honor. It's a ton of fun. It gives me an opportunity to really take a leadership role in the band. Being kind of one of the faces of the marching band and really just leading a group of people that I really greatly respect as musicians and as people, it's a really big honor.
And you guys went to the Rose Parade last year. What was that like? Were you drum major then?
No, last year I was just playing tenor saxophone in that parade. It was a really, really awesome opportunity that I never thought I would ever have the opportunity to march in the Rose Parade. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. It was really great.
So you guys are going back to the Rose Parade in 2025. How are you guys prepping for that? What is it like getting ready for the Rose Parade?
So looking back on last year and our preparation for that, we're kind of looking towards that and seeing what we can improve to make our preparation more efficient. So we're going to be kind of just using that as a template as to what we do next year. So it's going to be really, really great opportunity yet again for us. So.
And you guys are in the middle of your competition season. You have a few competitions left. How has competition been for you?
So we took place in a competition this year that was hosted by Metallica. And this competition was basically who can do the best Metallica show. And it's going to go through a group of DCI judges, so drum corps judges, and then it will later go on to Metallica. And then they're going to kind of pick who their favorite band was. And so we recorded our show on November 4th of our Metallica show. And so we put that out there, and we're hoping that we think we have a pretty good shot. So
perfect. Well, Blake, thank you so much for joining me. And he is a drum major for the marching band. We'll see you guys on Saturday down on the field.
Yeah.
Alexis?
The Learning Center is one of many student resources offered at Fresno State. I got an inside look at the benefits it has to offer.
The basement of the Fresno State Library might be one of the quietest floors. What many students may not know is that it houses the Learning Center.
It's a really great resource on campus that sometimes doesn't get used enough.
The Learning Center is made up of 3 main components, including tutoring, supplemental instruction, and academic success coaching.
So tutoring is, basic tutoring. SI leaders who host 2 SI sessions a week, and basically each SI leader is paired with a specific subject.
What used to be called SupportNet is now academic success coaching. Although they rebranded, they still offer the same great services.
We provide students with academic support, but also personal support. So our office recognizes that students not only are students in the classroom, but also have roles outside of the classroom.
Rainey and Patricia are students just like you. So if you're ever feeling reservations about coming to the Learning Center, just remember, they understand the student perspective.
A lot of the times these appointments that we meet with students are kind of just checking, seeing how you're doing, seeing how those classes are going. So definitely would just recommend students just book that appointment and just get connected. Like I said, use all the resources you can here during your time at Fresno State.
The Learning Center is free for all students and can be taken advantage of at any time. For more information, visit studentaffairs.fresnostate.edu/LRC/.
Transgender Day of Remembrance is an annual international holiday observed on the 20th of November. This year's event is co-hosted by the Fresno State Cross-Cultural and Gender Center, Trans Emotion, and the Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies Department. It will be Monday night at the Satellite Student Union at 5:30. There will be a memorial as well as presentations to help educate the public on LGBTQ+ issues.
Coming up on Fresno State Focus, we go underground with Fresno State's student-run radio station.
Plus, the holiday season is here. We look at how to stay safe while scoring all the holiday deals.
You ready for the rain? Because it's moving in, and I'll show you how long it may stay in your focus on weather coming up.
I got the bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head.
Up in my head.
I got that bulldog spirit. Up in my head. Up in my head to stay. I got that bulldog spirit. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Got that bulldog spirit. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Hey. Down in my toes to stay. I got that bulldog spirit. Up in my head. Deep in my heart. Down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit. All over me. All over me to stay. I got that bulldog spirit.
Deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart.
TSU trade workers are on strike. Teamsters Local 2010 is the cohort conducting a legal unfair labor practice strike at the Fresno State campus. I'm joined by Drew Scott, Teamster 2010's Skilled Trade Director. Hi, Drew. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us. My first question would be, could you just explain a little bit about what the strike is about?
Well, the strike is basically we did a one-day strike yesterday, so it's not an ongoing strike. It's a one-day strike. Just to let the CSU know that, hey, we've been in bargaining since January. We're over 9 months now into this, And we've had some, pretty unfair, ridiculous offers from them. And so the guys, basically want to let the CSU know that, hey, we need to get to some kind of a settlement here.
And then were you already acting director back in January, or when did you get into this role?
I've been the director of the skilled trades for Teamsters 2010 since back in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what is the overall goal of this, or what was the overall goal of the strike?
It's mainly that, they've walked away from the table, and now we're heading for arbitration and mediation and fact finding, which is a long process. So we looked at the unfair labor practices that we filed against them and said, okay, let's do an unfair labor strike and see if we can bring them back to the table and see if we can iron some issues out. Because like right now, typically as in any contract bargaining, it's wages, benefits, and working conditions. And in those working conditions, they've offered to take away our emergency pay or reduce it severely. And they've offered to take away our contracting out language. And that contracting out language protects our jobs, that we do the work in-house here. And instead of it going out to contractors and basically putting us out on the streets.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for joining us, Drew. That's all the time we have. I apologize, but we love your mission.
Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Marco Rosas, and this is your Focus on Weather. The story of the weather is, the story of the weather is the changing of the seasons. As you can see over here on my left, you have those brown leaves, and over here on my right, you have the leaves that are about to be brown. So if we look at the national satellite, we'll see that the weather is changing nationwide. In the Midwest, we don't have too much going on. On the East Coast, they have some winds, but the big story is here on the West Coast. So let's take a look at that West Coast satellite. Here we have a bunch of winds coming in through the Pacific, and that's going to affect all of us here at home. You can see California, a little bit of Oregon and Washington, the states above us getting some of that weather, but you're really going to see it in our temperatures. For those of us that are used to walking around in 80-degree weather, maybe in polos, we're going to have to switch over to long sleeves. Take a look at the weather in Fresno, Madera, Merced, and all the other neighboring towns. They're all in the 60s. We're seeing some 70s in Coalinga, but nothing else. At night, it's going to get incredibly cold. It's time to break out those swap meet tiger blankets and really bundle up. Visalia is down to 51, Portobello 52, Shaver Lake 38. If you love the cold weather, that's the place to be, but I won't be there. And as far as the air quality goes, it'll take a little bit for the rain to kick in and change some of these yellow places, some of the moderate areas to that green. Then we'll be breathing a whole lot easier. But as for your extended outlook, today you can expect temperate weather, but tomorrow we'll have 70s through Friday. And the weekend, we're going to get high 60s. And here's the rest of your week. Thank you guys for joining me. Back to Cynthia at the monitor. This has been Marco Rosas.
The holidays are here. The holidays are here. Of course, you don't need me to tell you that because you already know. Shopping centers will be crowded during this time. That is no secret. Fox reports with that will also come an increased risk of shoplifters. How will people take precaution to stay safe throughout? Let's see. The holidays bring people together, all right. Shopping centers are preparing for one of the most crowded times of the year. Enjoy this time of year, but take precautions when you're out. An officer for IGIS Security has some tips on how to stay out of harm's way.
You lock your vehicle, look around your surroundings, make sure you have your wallet with you and everything. And when you go to the store, just keep an eye, be alert,
Take the advice you're hearing from me and my Nutcracker friends right behind me. Stay off that cell phone if this looks like you in a public setting. You do not want to be doing that during these busy holiday hours. Be aware of your surroundings. Shoppers aren't the only ones who need to be alert. This clothing store owner, Alma Wolverton, says she trains her employees so that they can identify potential threats.
I'm a mother, and so I take really good care of them.
Wolverton's mom instincts help with this.
It's little things that maybe your dad would teach you, on like how to change a tire or something, but for us it's like don't have your back towards the door, and make sure you're locking, make sure your keys are on you, make sure that you're calling the second you feel something is a little off.
Shopping early in the day when places are most empty could make things easier and less stressful.
Always been like a safety concern, why come early.
Here's another piece of advice from a big sister.
I try to tell my sister, like, don't put your headphones in. Like, I know, she's a little younger, so she likes to have headphones in a lot.
We share over the holidays. Let's gift ourselves some of that love by acting on these simple safety precautions. Stay alert, stay aware, and stay attentive. Thank you so much, Cynthia. With the change of season, you might be looking for new outfits to stay warm, but still look cool. Marco Rosa spoke to a Fresno State student whose passion for fashion may lead to new options for your closet.
For many students, college is their first opportunity to freely experiment with their self-expression. But for Renee Lopez, it's even more than that.
I started back in high school painting my friends' shoes, and I would get asked to paint more people's shoes, so it just grew on from there.
It took off into the atmosphere, and Renee was able to go from painting shoes with permanent marker to designing his own t-shirts and fully altering iconic shoes.
So the story behind these are based on the Hyper Royal Jordan 1, which is like a light blue with dark blue accents on the laces. I wanted to experiment, put a Jordan 1 colorway on Air Force 1, which is pretty common to do, but I never seen anyone do the Hyper Royal colorway. So
Renee's custom falls in line perfectly with the trend of inclusive fashion. Instead of paying high-end prices for new clothes, why not recycle the clothes you already have at a lower price, all while supporting a fellow Fresno State student? Fashion Inc. Club President Sarah Delgado says there's a bigger reason beyond trends to support artists like Renee and men's fashion.
I think it's really good. With college especially, is people are finding themselves and people are not caring about what other people think because it's normalized now.
And as you can see, we do have Renee's shirt right here. You can find Renee's work and hire him at Renee_Customs on Instagram for custom kicks and shirts like this.
You may have heard of Fresno State's radio station, KFSR, but have you ever heard of FSR Underground? Alexis Breen met with some of the students who make the radio station possible.
FSR Underground is Fresno State's internet radio station where students can get involved. From internships to service learning and just for fun, FSR Underground allows students an opportunity to practice their on-air and behind-the-scenes skills. Kirsten Martinez lets us in on her experience with FSR Underground.
So my role here is I'm kind of in charge of a lot of the marketing and promotions we do for on-air and off-air. I do a lot of print ads and I do a lot of the content that you hear, like that includes writing scripts and helping make a lot of promos for our radio station.
Fresno State alumni Trevor Widger tells us about his time with FSR Underground.
Nothing, and I was there with every step of that process. We did branding, we did programming, scheduling, music research, all of it. And so it was really amazing that I got to see an entire radio station really get created from scratch.
From current students to alumni, FSR Underground is just one of the few places students can get hands-on experience at Fresno State.
As of right now, you can only listen to FSR Underground on their website. If you're looking to get more involved behind the scenes or on air, you can visit their website at www.fsrunderground.org, or you can stop into their office located in the Speech Arts Building behind me. Until next time, Alexis Breen, Fresno State Focus.
A lot like Fresno State Focus, FSR Underground gives students the chance for hands-on learning.
Coming up next in sports, we talk with a former Fresno State student reporter who's found success in the Major League.
Plus, we are taking you live to the Save Mart Center as basketball prepares for tonight's double header, which will have some fun giveaways for fans. Stay tuned for sports with Ricky Oakes.
Here in the valley, our colors are blue and our waves are red. Bulldog born and bulldog bred. Generations linked forever by traditions that have stood the test of time. Inside our stadiums, we are one. This is our valley, And this year, we're doing it for you.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
What's poppin'? I'm Ricky Oakes, and here's your Focus on Sports. Fresno State football turns its attention to New Mexico this week as the Dogs cling to a shot in the Mountain West Conference title game. Getting to the postseason will not be easy following the team's second loss of the season this past Saturday. San Jose State claimed the Valley Trophy, defeating the Bulldogs 42-18. Head coach Jeff Tedford spoke after the game on what went wrong.
We got beat. We got beat by a better team tonight. They were prepared. They did a great job in all phases of the game. It wasn't our night. So now it's time to go back to work.
Kickoff is set for 7:30 this Saturday for the final home game of the season. The team will recognize the seniors before the game, including team captain Lavelle Bailey. The school will also honor former slugger Aaron Judge and legendary coach Mike Batesel during halftime. Even though the Dogs struggled in the Bay Area, former Dogs made news over the weekend as well in the NFL. Derek Carr is currently in concussion protocol as he went down with a concussion and a right shoulder injury in the Saints game on Sunday. The team hopes he'll be cleared following the Saints bye this week. Deron Bland recorded his 5th interception in the year in the Cowboys' dominant win over the Giants. He is now 2nd in the league in interceptions. Devontae Adams, under new coach Antonio Pierce, recorded his best game of the season with 6 receptions for a season high of 86 yards. Finally, former 4th-round pick Michael Walker is expected to make his season debut this weekend for the Pittsburgh Steelers, as he'll be filling in following major injuries in the linebacker position for the Steelers. Covering professional athletes for a living may seem like a pipe dream to some, but one former Bulldog is living the dream. Earlier this week, Al Scott talked with Jesus Cano, a former Fresno State journalism student. Cano is now in Phoenix, Arizona, as a reporter for MLB.com and recently got to cover the World Series.
My college experience here, a big part of it, why I enjoyed it so much was because I was here, and it's just always great to come back.
Did you always want to be a reporter for baseball?
When I was younger, I wanted to be a teacher. I always liked writing, and then I really liked sports, and I found out what sports journalism was, and it was just the path that I really wanted to do. And probably since I was like 15 or 16, I wanted to become a sports reporter.
What's something that stood out to your experience here at Fresno State?
I think the big thing for me is that I think the newsroom was very united here when I was here. I think we started to turn things around and really try to deliver different news here at Fresno State. I think there's a lot of people at the Collegian when I was here that were really eager to get their career started. And when I was managing editor, I already had a couple of years experience covering high school sports reporting, so I was one of the most more experienced reporters, and just being able to help everybody out, just learn about reporting, writing, all that stuff. That's what kind of really fueled me, is to help other people at the Collegian.
For Al's whole interview with Jesus, check out our YouTube channel, Fresno State Focus TV. Fresno State men's and women's basketball hosts a doubleheader tonight. Al Scott is live at the St. Martin Center to talk about what is in store. Al?
Yeah, we have a doubleheader here tonight. We got women's basketball at 5 o'clock, followed by men's basketball shortly after that. And we have some giveaways. Here we have with us Jake Mastro, Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement for Fresno State Athletics. How are you doing, Jake?
Great. How are you doing?
We have some giveaways tonight. Would you mind telling us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so tonight's our International Night Basketball game. So we partnered with the Office of Continuing Global Education and the International Office to do some fun giveaways to get some students out that might not usually experience Bulldog basketball and kind of expose what our brand is. So tonight we're giving away specifically for students AirPods, 2 scooters, along with a pizza party giveaway just for students.
Sounds like a fun time. What else can fans expect here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, first off, 2-for-1 basketball. Like you said, we have the women's basketball team first, then the men's team. Both teams play a really fun style of play, super fast. Aside from that, you're going to hear the band is here tonight. They're going to set up next to us. We have the Spirit team. We've got a lot of giveaways for fans and students alike. So whether it's shirts, pizza, it's just a lot of fun things going on tonight.
Does sound like a great time indeed. Another great time will be this Saturday. Aaron Judge and Mike Bates will be back at Fresno State this Saturday. Would you mind telling us what fans should expect for the game?
Yeah, so it's going to be great having those two back, and it's just an opportunity for us to celebrate them. They mean so much to not only our university athletic team, but also the Valley in general. So at halftime, if you're in the stadium, you get to hear from both Coach Batesel and Aaron Judge, and a little preview for Sunday when we actually retire their jerseys at the baseball stadium.
Sounds like lots of excitement ahead for the Red Wave. We are here live at the Save Mart Center. I'm Al Scott, Fresno State Focus.
Back to you, Emily and Alexis.
Thanks, Ricky. If you're looking for something cozy to do in the rain, there is a student composers recital tonight. At 7, you can enjoy the sounds of the rain accompanied by sweet melodies. The concert is only $5 for students, seniors, and employees, but for everyone else, it's $10, but you do not want to miss out.
There are new changes happening on the outskirts of our campus at Campus Point. The Starbucks in the Kennel Marketplace is closed. It quietly closed in the middle of the semester. Even though the coffee shop is going away, there are new things popping up. There's a new cookie shop called Cookie Plug. Also, a pickleball business is in the works located right next to Pyology.
You may see us on camera every week, but do you know the immense amount of production and help that goes into our show? The Fresno State Focus production crew works hard to make this show possible and keep things running smoothly. They handle things such as audio, directing, cameras, giving cues, setting up equipment, and running the teleprompter. But this is so much more than a class. It's all in preparation for the start of their future careers.
So far what I've really taken away, and something I didn't have knowledge in before, was how to be a dynamic in the news space and how to adapt as a crew member who's operating the different tech equipment that we have in our studio.
I don't know. It was here and Carrie was asking about it. That's been here.
Take Fresno State Focus. So you may see some of these familiar faces on the screen very soon. And as always, thank you, crew, for all that you do. So let's talk about Focus Crew a little bit. Ricky, you and I were both in Focus Crew. Marco, get on in here. We were both in Focus Crew. Alexis, you started in Focus Crew.
I started in Focus last semester, and then I dropped it for whatever reason. So that was a regret. So like, if you're thinking of taking it, take it.
Yeah, no, but Focus Crew, it's an amazing class. I had the pleasure of taking it not one semester with you, but I took it 2 semesters my transfer junior year. And I'm telling you, the experience you get, it's fantastic. The amount of production you get behind the camera, you got some amazing professors with both Natalie and Terry helping you out behind the scenes. I have to give them a shout because it's a big reason why we're all successful today.
And you and Marco both got to be crew members today on in the background.
Yeah.
So that was helpful to getting to know how crew works.
Some crew members better than others, because I mean, I never got a chance to take crew like you said earlier, and I really wish I had, considering how I did behind the camera. But, I can only really recommend it to people.
And if you recommend crew, you can watch them back in action next week on Fresno State Focus.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to take a look at the success of the esports team.
Plus, we're jumping on in with the Bulldog Blitz skydiving team.
Also, we take a look at how Fresno State uses spray technology in the fields.
But not just yet. We're not done yet, because in 2 weeks, it'll be our final newscast of the semester.
Last one.
Oof.
And then I'm excited because we got a lot in store, so hopefully you guys are able to join us in a couple weeks.
Alexis, this is her last show of that show will be her last show.
Last show I'm producing, so that should be fun. Yeah. It'll be Marco's last show as well.
It's Marco's last show as well.
Yeah.
You got 2 producers, and then they'll be gone. But we're still going to be here. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.